Girls Closet.
Okay, welcome back. This is still Girls Closet, and we have our distinguished guest still with us, all looking shiny and then, way up lady. All right, so the next question should be looking at this picture, right? A 39-year-old. I don't know if it's really a woman or a lady because I'm confused. At this point, I'm confused. Then you don't want to mess with her because unless she has a black belt in taekwondo.
Absolutely.
Please, tell us something about that. Have you been able to keep this body? And then the kids, the 5 kids.
Yeah.
Whoa.
It's like, you really have to tell yourself what's important to you and then you work for it. I've always wanted or liked being pretty. So when the baby making parts of my life kind of like made me look so much different from what I like to look like. So in terms of looks, I've always been interested in what I look like. So I take particular care to not be overweight, for example. But then you can't help it when you're having children. You definitely have to eat to nourish the kids in your tummy and wherever. And then after you have the babies, you need time to recover. So in that time, you actually add a lot of weight, at least for most women. Some women don't, but most women do. And of course I did. I was even 102 kg. And I don't want to look that way. I don't want to look at myself and not like what I see in the mirror. So I had to do what I had to do. Go online and research on the fastest ways to lose weight and still be healthy, and then get in the gym. I go to the gym like every morning from 5:30 a.m. till like 7. Even when I travel, I have like personal trainers that meet up with me in law school every morning. You just do something every day, and then before you know it, a lot of that fat is leaving your body and you like what you see about yourself a lot more. So it's basically really all about discipline and really going for it, because you want to see a different body from that body that had to deal with childbearing. And it has worked for me. When I look in the mirror, I do like what I see and I try to maintain it. I eat a lot, but because I eat a lot, I work out a lot too, so as to balance things. So that's basically it for me. Just be disciplined and take like active interest in what you look like, your health status also, because it's just not about looking good, it's also about being healthy. Because if you are exercising often, you are building up your muscles, you are like coordinating the water flow in your body, so you are healthier, you glow better, you don't even need all this plenty cream and makeup. I've had to do a lot of that lately, but okay. It's all part of it, really.
All right. We were talking about Nollywood during the break. So are you looking at having anything to do with that?
Definitely. I'll definitely invest a lot in the entertainment business. I didn't just do Nollywood. I also did a lot of promotion for artists, like people like the band P Square and all of them when they were first coming out. I did a lot of promotions, took some abroad for shows and things like that. So I definitely will invest in the entertainment industry personally, and it will be one of the policies I'll drive in government to make sure that the entertainment industry is developed properly, so that our people, our young Nigerians who have the talent can actually get in there and develop our culture and also develop our economy through entertainment. It's a really, really, really useful industry, and it deserves a lot more attention than it's getting.
Okay. Viola?
Okay, Mama. What's your take on defecting tactics, which are now becoming a trend?
My dear, what will I say? What will I say?
Like that.
No, what will I say? You know that basically APC, PDP, they are basically the same people, just changing names according to where the interests lie.
What I said.
So when the interest is not favoring them anymore, one they move to the other.
And then
they are just, it's party. In fact, there's no need to call them APC, PDP. It's party A, party B, one and the same. And then according to interest, when this person wants to be governor and they are not giving him ticket, you just move to the other one. And the moment this one starts to, you just go back. So like that. That's what they are. And it's sad, but that's where we are at. Like I always tell people, our democracy is still developing. So these are the kind of people we put in to go for us first. Hopefully Nigerians will stop thinking that it's got to be them all the time and start giving more reasonable, more proper people with integrity, the opportunity to get to the front. The only issue I have is sometimes we are out here, we don't have the experience, we don't have the knowledge, and we think we're going to do well. And then you get in there and you see that these people that you're even bringing in are even worse than those ones that were there before. So you never really know, but you can take a chance. At least Nigerians have to start taking a chance on the new people and hope that it would yield dividends. That's my own take on that. The tactics, horrible as it is, that's what we have. It's a budding democracy. It's still better than anything, military rule or whatever. But my own is, let's start looking outside of these people and start looking more at the fresh faces, fresh ideas. At least when we look at their backgrounds, we should be able to say, okay, these ones look like they will do a good job for this country. Let's give them the opportunity. Let's not worry so much about the parties they are running under, but about the people that are offering themselves and what they're telling us they can do or they will do for us once they get power from us.
Okay, fine.
I think, have you chosen or do you have any proposed running mates like?
No, not yet.
President?
Not yet. I haven't picked a running mate. Not yet.
Okay, secondly, from your profile, we heard that you've been to over 70 countries.
Yeah.
So I'd like to know, how many years have you spent in Nigeria here? And how many years have you spent outside Nigeria? Because trust Nigerians, they will tell you, this woman, she has not been in the country. How does she know the affairs of the country? How does she know what's going on in the country? So I'd like to say to them now, how many years have you spent in Nigeria? How familiar are you with the affairs of the country, the state and all that? Then how many years have you spent outside the country? Like, be a plus for you. You've seen how things are being done outside Nigeria, so it's a plus for you. So you're telling them that.
All right. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of us here put together. I have stayed in Nigeria more than all of you put together. Do you understand? Born and brought up in this Nigeria. All my businesses are Nigeria-centric. My first degree was in UI. Me, I grew up, not just Nigeria, I grew up in the, I don't even know whether slum or ghetto or whatever. I don't know what to call it now. Iwaya. Iwaya is like when it rains, water will fill that, it will full our parlor, and we will be swimming inside with all the big sheets that will come from, we will be swimming inside. And I actually learned to swim in my father's living room. That's the kind of Ninja girl I am, and that kind of Ninja girl that is horribly ghetto, like from the bottom. So if it is in terms of understanding what the everyday person is going through in Nigeria, you can't have somebody better than me to represent them. If it is in terms of actually understanding how badly disadvantaged we are as women, there's nobody, because now me they don't beat pass. God almighty, you would come there, you have flawed everybody in terms of your qualifications. You're not getting the job because you're a woman or because you refuse to come to room 204 in Hilton. So in terms of this country and what it does to people, how many businesses have I brought? How many foreign investors have I brought to this country? Brought good deals. And then one governor will sit down somewhere and tell you, he's not going through unless you give me $10 million. That's what he's telling the foreign investor. And in my case, he's giving me room key to Senator Suits in Ambassador Hotel. And I'm like, is that how it is? Of course, that's how it is. So in terms of understanding how it works, in terms of understanding the issues in this country, 4 of you say 3 of you are too small. Gather all the leaders, gather them, multiply by 1 million, and then remove the shots.
Okay, understand.
Your question has brought trouble to the subject.
No, I'm thoroughly involved with Nigeria. Thoroughly. I have traveled a lot. Okay, tonight now I'm going to be in London. 2 days from now I have an interview in Abuja. So I'll be back again after 2 days. Next week I'll be in New York. But after 4 days, I'm coming back to an interview here in Lagos. So you have to always balance it in such a way that your life, your children, your work, your studies and everything is working. And I think that's actually another additional skill I have. I can balance up to 50 different things and everything works smoothly. Just because I can time everything, plan it. Okay, now this 1, 2, 3, 4 are complementary. These ones are against. So leave these ones on this side, leave these ones and do all 5 at the same time. You just have to plan it. Okay, I have 5 hours. What can I achieve in these 5 hours? How can I best use these 5 hours to make sure that 5 things are working perfectly? And then you do that. It's a great skill to have. It's a great talent to have. And I thank God that I do have them.
Okay, of course, it's fantastic to hear that. And you know, Nigerians definitely are speaking the mind of Nigerians.
I understand. I understand.
This is not
Absolutely.
funky.
I understand.
After all, your name should be Nigeria.
No, it's useful so because I do get these attacks on social media. This one we don't work out these countries. You go just dey waka like Buhari, we no go see am. Like I don't understand. You actually need to be doing all those waka because, especially somebody like me, I speak their language, they understand that I understand them, they know they can't cheat us, so if they're coming to the table, they're coming with their sense, and they are understanding that we are coming with our sense too. So as they are proposing what they are proposing, we are telling them, Nka doesn't work, this one, so as we are signing for Nigeria, not against Nigeria. That's what we need. We don't need people that have no idea, that only fly abroad to go to hospital and spend more of our money. We need people that fly abroad and they know exactly how to bring those abroad people to respect us and give us deals that favor us, not deals that punish us.
Okay, back to my question. You said it all from the very beginning. I'm bringing this part where Nigerians, they will ask you, she's a woman. Although you don't believe in feminism, but the thing here is, they will ask you, look, you said she has settled this, she has settled that, she has settled this and that. What about our home? Yes, like how is she able to cope? The fact that even now election is fast approaching, you have to go to this, go to that. How supportive is your family to that?
I wish all the women who aspire to positions of power or leadership can have the kind of support system I have. Like my husband doesn't trouble me. I just literally tell him, Daddy, bye bye. My children, oh my God. Even little Mia wakes up, she comes down to me, the first thing she says to me is NIP, and I'll scream Nigeria for all. And then she'll say Nigeria for all, and I'll say NIP. Say, yes, Mama, I'm proud of you. She's just 4. What I do though is I carry them along. There's nobody that is too small around me, not just in my family, but in my workforce. Nobody is too small, nobody is stupid, nobody knows it all. We are all learning from each other. I have an idea, you have yours. Put yours on the table, I put mine. Sometimes I'm wrong. In fact, most times I'm wrong. But because I have a team that is committed, we always get the right mix of everything. And it's the same in my family. Everybody have what they think is what they need. We put it on the table. Okay, you want this, I want that. It doesn't really work. How do we find a solution? My oldest son, he's the most amazing human being on earth. He literally helps me with everything, bathing the kids, even feeding them now. I used to do all the cooking, but nowadays he tells me, Mom, I have learned to cook. Stop, though I can do it. And then he actually does it. So he even cooks better than me now. So I'm like, oh my God, I really can do whatever I need to do, because I have the best support system, and I think it's what we put in that we get back. So our women who need to do things more in the public space, in leadership space, get your home together. Make sure that you put the right team together for your home front. If you have your home front intact, you're good. Nothing, you won't shake. No matter what they throw at you, you know that you're okay, because at home, everything is fine.
No, they can hear hand. Like,
okay, no more shaking of this table. We don't.
No, you can shake table. Yeah, I like to rock table. Shake it, man.
There is this issue that has become the order of the day,
yes.
And that's the issue of housewives stabbing their husband to death. While some of them say they claim they did it as a sign of self-defense or something. What do you think they actually do it out of self-defense, or what's your take on domestic violence?
My take on domestic violence is, wow, it's a real issue. I am a victim of domestic violence, both in terms of emotional violence and in terms of physical violence. And a lot of times, I'm still married to the same man though, like even with all the beating up and everything, we still settle it. Not because I'm afraid to leave, but because I always have to look at all the advantages and disadvantages of being in that marriage. And then I always have to come to the place where I think, okay, it's better for me to be there than to be outside. Not just because I love my husband, but also because I love my family and I feel more complete as a woman knowing that my home front is together. So I don't need money from my husband, so I can leave any moment and it's not a problem. But there's a lot of other things that comes into your relationship. Every marriage is unique. So we have to always look at what is it in that relationship that is favoring us, and what is it in that relationship that is against us, and then weigh it. And the one that has the most weight is the one you stay with. If your marriage favors you, stay in it and work it out and find a way to live together, but not the type that you get dead. If your husband beats you once, you forgive, Okay, he beats you a second time, you forgive. By the third time, pack and go.
Okay.
Don't come back.
I was about to say that because of you losing your life.
No, you don't take that risk. And if the man comes, my husband came begging, and I thought, he was telling me how he took therapy, how he went to 3 weeks, this, that, and those were active efforts he made, he put in to solve that problem for himself. After 2 years, I thought, okay, no, if he has really recovered or discovered that this is not the way to be, and he has treated himself, because I do think it's an illness.
Yes.
He has treated himself. You have this beautiful family. Why don't you give it another chance and see if it may work out? But because he has taken active steps to treat the problem, because I do believe it's an illness, it's worth it, at least it was worth it for me to reconsider and try again. And then he has never raised his hands on me ever since. So it's turning out to be a good decision I made to take a second chance or a third chance or a fourth chance after he got the treatment that he needed. So sometimes the answer is not to pack up and go, but you do need to be careful to stay alive. Because if you see that this person, he beats you the first time, he begs you, he cries, and then he doesn't do anything about his illness. He beats you a second time, you begs you, he cries, you forgive him. Third time, fourth time, no, you gotta go because you're going to die. Same also with the men. If you are married to a woman who is so temperamental or so jealous that every time she sees you with a woman, she's raising tantrums and misbehaving, and then you come home, she refuses to give you food or whatever, and then it doesn't come by the first day they attack you, they stab you and kill you. No. There will be signs. There will be signs. She would have slapped you. She would have broken a bottle. She would have pushed the chair. She would have smashed things in the house. She may have even threatened you with a knife once or twice. Before she actually stabs you, you would have seen all the signs you needed to see. Yes. And if you look at the history, most times you have the men calling family, this woman has started again, she has brought her knife again, Yes. She brought the knife the first time you called family, it didn't help. The second time you called church, it didn't help. Pastor came and advised you, it didn't help. And you still sat down there until she kukuma tear your intestine. So it's being smart about it, not just relying on your emotions, but also being wise about the decisions you're making and the reasons you're staying in the relationship. Most times for the women, they are dependent on the men. They don't know where to go to. They can't feed. The kids will be hungry. They don't have a job. They've never worked. They left their careers to build a family. So they expect to be destitute if the men leave them or if they leave the men. So they stay there until they get killed. Is it worth it? My answer is no. But the first thing we need to do as people, men and women, nowadays, more men depend on women than women depend on men in Nigeria. Yes. What we need to do for ourselves is develop ourselves. Get your independence, even if it is your small business you'll be doing. Make sure you are content with the little you are getting. Build on that until you can build something big. And even if you don't end up building something big, be okay with the little you are building. Nobody can mess with you in that situation. I have lived on little more than nothing. But you can't mess with me because I'm very content with my little. I won't look at your big clothes and big shoes and everything. It don't concern me now because that guy where they chop every day, they telephone me. Do you understand? But then I know that as long as I keep working at it, I'm going to develop it into something big. And it's already happening. Do you understand? So a lot of us are too impatient. We have opportunities to be hairdressers, to be tailors, to be beads makers, to be sweepers, to be nannies, or whatever we can do. And we can do those things with passion and get the little we can get and live within that little we have. But instead of doing that, we'll be looking at the ones that are driving Bentleys and the ones that are showing off all their Versaces and Valentinos. And then you'll be thinking of what to do quickly to get there. That's where 90% of the problem starts. So you're not going to marry one guy. Maybe 419 guy, maybe Yahoo boy or something, and then he's not giving you, but he's slapping you in addition. But you can't go away anymore because now you're wearing Valentino and you're doing whatever. Do you understand? Yeah. So it's a lot of internal struggle that we have to clarify for ourselves and make the choices that have the long-term benefits.
So let me ask you: are you a product of the law to Young to Run
Yes,
campaign?
I am a product of the Not Too Young to Run campaign. I didn't even support the bill because I didn't have any plans per se, but I'm grateful the bill came when it did. The law was assented to when it did, because now I can confidently run for the position of President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria instead of waiting another 4 years or longer. So it's a great thing that the people who pushed for it and saw the Not Too Young to Run law come to be.
Okay, finally, how do you intend to achieve your aim without this godfatherism issue? You need like
My dear man, don't lie to you. Godfatherism, godmotherism may be necessary and I will not refuse it. The only thing I will do is to refuse a godfather or a godmother whose ideologies clash with mine. Because politics is not something you do alone. You need powerful people. But you do not go to bed with everybody. If you do, you're going to be confused. Everybody will be blowing you different winds and you won't know what to do. But if you pick the people you are working with and then you raise your funds from a particular group whose interests align with yours, you're good to go. You won't have problems making decisions, because at the end of the day, every decision you're making will be in line with whatever they would like you to be doing. So you're fine. We have the problem of jumping up and down in Nigeria because people just collect from there, collect from there, collect from there. And then everybody you're collecting from is investing in your government. They want dividends from your government. And if somebody is extremely socialist and you are liberal and you collect money from that person, when you get to government, you're going to be in trouble because he invested in your government. He wants you to move policies that are socialist in nature, and you are trying to do liberal, but you will be clashing.
They're just eating the nail. That's the issue. Like I said it actually then that some people they have a good intention. They have good intentions, rather. But the people they are surrounded by,
if you have to surround yourself with the people with whom you fundamentally agree. If you do that,
all right. At this point, we have to say thank you to our distinguished guest. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Right?
Thank you.
Exactly.
Flip TV is whoa. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
All right, to everybody in the studio today, thank you, and to our viewers, thank you so much. Our editors, we didn't forget you. Don't worry. Thank you so much, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for sponsorship and product placement. Don't forget to call the numbers on your screen. All right, for me and the ladies and our distinguished guests, it's bye for now. Right.